Well, good morning. This is Coach Gary coming to you live from San Francisco Bay Area this morning. It's forecasted that the temperature is going to get over 100 degrees today, so I'm glad I'm inside with the air conditioner and doing a few of these videos to help you guys make a little more money. But we're going to talk today about building a leads list. Now, I know that's the dreaded thing, is I don't want to call my friends, I don't want to call my family, and I don't know anybody. I hear it all the time. But the reality is, in any type of sales where you're going to make contact with people, you're going to have to start someplace. And I want to show you today that it is very easy to build a leads list, and it's very simple if you follow these guidelines. And believe it or not, when we get through my video about how to make the calls, you're going to have fun at this. You're going to start out thinking, I can't do it, but by the time I get through with my video trainings, you're going to be in a position to say, hey, you know what? I can really do this. And your confidence is going to grow, and you're going to feel good about those calls, and you're going to actually have fun with them. Believe it or not, you're going to have fun with this, all right? So let's get on the road here, and we'll get you going, and we'll show you what you need to do to come up with a leads list, okay? Okay, darn it. Here we go. Excuse me. All right. Well, here's some tips. First of all, you want to start with your smartphone and your address book. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Write down a column where it just has the name, and then write down a column that has the phone number. I'm going to suggest to you that when you do a leads list that you also have the email, and you'd be smart to take the cell phone because most of those numbers have text capability on them. So again, make a column with the name, first and last name, and make a column with the text phone number, if possible, and then also make a column and put the email. Now, it may take a little time building the list, but as we take time building it correctly, you're going to find that your business is going to go a lot faster. We're going to use a memory jogger. There's one over to the right I'm showing you here, build a candidate list. Well, why do we want to use a memory jogger? Well, a memory jogger helps you to think about, who do you know? And you start from the alphabet, start with your A, B, who do you know that's Alfred? And then you go, who do you know that's Betty? Who do you know, that, and you go right up the line there. C is Charlie, who do you know, D is David, and you start getting your mind to look at alphabetically, who do you know? And as you start doing this memory exercise, you're going to find that names will just start flying out. And you'll be writing them down like, okay, so get the list of names down on paper first, then go back and get the phone numbers and the emails, all right? The other thing is that you want to, again, do the method of going through the alphabet and get as many names as you possibly can. And think about this. Give time every day, about 15, 20 minutes every day to thinking about names and keeping a book or a little notepad next to you. When you go to bed at night, you'll think of names. When you wake up in the morning, you'll think of names. You're just going to be, your radar antennas are up and you're going to start thinking about names. Another way we do it is we make a professional list. In other words, we jog your memory by, who sold you your home, your mortgage, your car, your furniture, who's doing your lawn, who delivers your mail. All these people are candidates, believe it or not. So make that list up as big as you can alphabetically, and then look at it professionally. And again, you can go on memoryjogger.com online and find 100 of these kind of like build your candidate list to help you do this, okay? So keep that list there. It's a growing list. You're going to be adding to it daily. Again, we're going to teach you how to do that in a couple more of our videos here, how to get this list to grow and be alive. The list is always growing. Just keep that in mind. Most people don't do the list and they don't have anybody to call, and that's the problem. They fight it. You also can go to classmates.com from high school and college, and promise you, man, you get all the people you need right there. Also on your list, I'm going to teach you some other things too, is to identify possible candidates either for your products or for the business opportunity. Okay, so let's start with the tips. Start with your notebook and your smartphone. And all the people you know on Facebook. All of those things are LinkedIn. I'm telling you, you could just, my gosh, you could be there making lists up to 500 to 1,000 people if you follow these techniques. Your smartphone is in contact list allows you to create groups. So what I want to do is teach you this. I have my contact list, people I know on Facebook, people I know on LinkedIn. I put it in my address book. I use an Apple. And it's really cool because I can go to those groups if I want to send out any messages directly just to one group, then I can do that. So there's a list of who do I know on LinkedIn, who do I know on Facebook, who do I know on Twitter that are possible candidates either for the products or for the business. All right. I also do an Excel spreadsheet. If you don't have a customer management system, then where you can track everything. So I keep all my notes in my address book. Every time I make a call, I make a little note, a date, and the note, just a couple words about the discussion. And I'm always measuring the candidate's interest to want more information. So I kind of like have a system where I can rate on a scale of 1 to 5. Is this a candidate that's a 5, or is he a 4, or is he 3? 5 being the hottest, and obviously 1 being less. So I always want to rate the candidate, because if I'm limited time, then I can always put my attention to the ones that have the highest rating. So again, keep a tracking system. Very important. You can do it on an Excel spreadsheet, or you can simply do it, just on your phone address book where it has notes. Any of those, just simple ways of doing it. You don't have to spend any money on this. Schedule your next call and email or text on your calendar. If you plan your calendar every day, who you're going to call. Now, I was very fortunate to meet a man who wrote 10 New York Times bestsellers, Steve Chandler. Great man when I was in the mortgage industry. And Steve said something to me on a phone call that was so simple. He said, Gary, most of the time people run out of time because they really do not prepare for the next day. And I go, Steve, what do you mean? And he says, well, if you make the list of the people that you're going to call and have their phone numbers and emails with you, I'm telling you, you're going to go through those names pretty quick. Now, he said the real work is in the preparation of that list. He said, but if they just did it the night before, the next day it becomes a top priority. The reason people don't make the calls is they don't make the list. And I had to think about that. He was right. The minute I started doing it the night before and listening to people I was going to call, oh my gosh, my calls just came in. And all of a sudden, I saw my sponsoring rate go up like crazy because I was making the contact calls. So schedule your next call, email, or text by putting it in your calendar or on a schedule that you can print out because you want to take notes next to the calls. Now, that's doing it professionally, my friends. If you want to do it like an amateur, you're going to make amateur money. But if you want to get up there the top 2-3% of the income earners in the ML industry, which they're all millionaires, by the way, this is what they did. This is what you have to do. Okay? So success leaves clues, my friends. All right. Tips on building your list. I always code my list using these letters. I use a P for those people that may be interested in the products. So I go through and say, oh my gosh, there's Aunt Lucy. She might be, oh my gosh, Aunt Lucy has arthritis. She needs this, And I evaluate each name to see, do I lead with the products or do I lead with the opportunity? If I see somebody that, that maybe lost their job, friends of ours, or that they're stretched or they're complaining about they don't have enough money for anything, then those are the people I want to talk to about the opportunity. Now, here's the crazy thing. People have this in their head, well, nobody has any money, and they can't afford to buy this package or that package. Folks, I'll tell you what. You find somebody with a desire, I promise you, money is never the answer. It's never the issue, excuse me. If you find somebody with a strong enough desire and a big enough dream who wants out of that situation, I'm telling you right now, okay, you don't have to throw a shovel down in the ditch that they're living in. They'll climb out with their fingernails. So just keep that in mind, all right? Desire outweighs whether the person has money or not money. Just remember that, okay? The desire and the willingness to change and the willingness to learn is what I look for when I take people on. It's never about, do they have the money, okay? Most people come to this business don't have the money, to be honest with you. All right, B. B is those people that may be interested in both. So I'm going to approach them a little bit differently when I make my calls to those people. All right, so again, this is covered on scripts and another teaching how to make the calls. Tips on building your list. When you think of somebody, write their name down. We talked about that. When you meet somebody, write it down on the back of the business card where you met them. Put the date. Sometimes I even put the time. And then I always put something interesting about them. Very sharp-looking guy, interested in financial independence. I always ask people these questions. What do you do for fun? What's your dream? That tells me everything about a person. It's crazy when I meet them. Hey, what do you do for fun? Tell me a little bit about you. Give me a little insight to you. And they always like to share that. And then the other thing I always ask them, I said, what's your dream? Okay. And they always love to share that as well. And I always write that down. Here's what he does. He likes to play golf or tennis, or, his dream is he wants to be financially secure, or he's going to build this company. He's an entrepreneur, whatever happens to be. So when I call him back, I said, hey, Chet, remember me? I met you at T. Harv Ekers, or I met you at Tony Robbins. And boy, I enjoyed what you shared with me about wanting to know your dream, about wanting to, about your dream. And, it just sparks the conversation, and they're very excited because you want to hear more about their dream. Hey, I'd like to hear more about that. Tell me a little more about where you're going and what you're doing. So that's how easy it is to engage somebody, meet them, write down their points of interest, and call them back. It's very simple, very easy when you learn how to do it right, okay? And it's fun. More and bigger is better. The more names you write down, the bigger your list gets, the more contacts you're going to make. Your goal, seriously, if you're going to be in this business, is to add 50 to 100 names a week. We're going to teach you how to do that online, offline, any way you can do it. We're going to teach you how to add names to that list. When you go out and develop your plan of action, you're going to be talking about, well, who do I know in the hot market? That's friends and family. Okay, we're going to teach you how to do that, approach that one where it's going to be fun. Okay, I know you call those guys 50 times and you had them in 4 different MLMs. Doesn't matter. You're going to call them back and say, hey, I found the light. Okay, I saw the light. All right, and we're going to talk to those people as well. We're going to leave them probably more in the product unless there's a financial need there. And then you're going to talk about your warm market, your fear of influence, okay? And we're going to call those people. And then we're going to talk about maybe going out to some meetup groups and some networking groups and trying to build that list by meeting new people, which is always fun, or going to community events or church events or things like that, or going to success seminars where people have the same mindset. There's a million ways that you can go out and meet people in your local market, chamber of commerce, all those areas we talk about in our teaching. Then we're also going to talk about building a digital online community. By the way, I love the digital online community. I have so many friends. Oh my gosh. And we're going to teach you about how to build that. I promise you, when you follow our teachings, I connect with over 30 people a day, friends. It's not that hard. It's fun. But you just have to have a plan and a system to do it. And you have to have a tracking system, and you have to make copious notes on your contacts and your conversations to keep up with it. So you can start small and build big until you get the habits formed. Once you get the habits formed, you can do 20, 30 a day. But I tell people start out with 5 or 10 and build it up. Okay? So when you connect with people online, just write everything down. We're going to teach you how to do that. Well, this is Coach Gary. I hope this helps you understand that you have to build your list every single day. Building your list is not the same as starting your sales funnel. Sales funnel is when you start exposing that list to your opportunity products, and hopefully they have an interest in your business and measuring their interest level, okay? All right, this is Coach Gary signing off. Thank you very much for taking the time. We believe in you. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to give you the skills. Folks, I don't care who you are. I'm serious. I don't care how much failure or success you've had in your life. What we're teaching you in these series of schools that I'm promoting for you, get in the Mastery School and get into my training here, and you're going to have a very successful business and a very massive bank account. All right?